have a special for you today. Straight from southern Louisiana, we're doing one of Rue's favorites. We're gonna blacken some fish up and then we're gonna add a Ponchatrain sauce.
You know, I will tell you that we got so much feedback on our Facebook post about things that you might want to learn about. We do take that feedback to heart, so we've got a ton of really great ingredients, and by the end of this, you guys are going to know how to do fish Cajun style.
Well, since you're from Louisiana, it's a great place to start.
All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to prep some whitefish here. What you're really looking for when you get to your deli counter, your fish counter, your mongers, you want to know what has come in fresh. So even in South Louisiana, even though we don't have cod necessarily in South Louisiana, what we want is fresh fish because we want it to be the star of the show. So Matt, you're going to prep up for us kind of a blackening sauce in essence,
yep,
or a seasoning sauce,
here.
Right? So
the simple basic ingredients of a blackening sauce, we're changing it up just a little bit, but we've got some Himalaya pink salt mixed in with a little bit of Old Bay. Staple of blackening seasoning is definitely paprika.
Note to self, that red that you see in there that you think is cayenne, there's just a little bit of it because we only serve that spicy stuff to the tourists.
That's right. So we've got some oregano here.
And just one little quick stop on the oregano spice trail is that this oregano actually came from a good friend of mine, Alex. She's been growing stuff in her backyard garden, and she's like, "Do you think you could have some use for oregano?" I'm like, "Alex, you bring that shit over here, man, because I'm going to use it." So what are we going to do next?
Oh, and last, just a little bit of sugar.
Okay, so we've got salt, sugar, paprika, oregano, and to prep the fish, what are we going to do?
Well, first up, we're going to be cutting this in half because it's a little bit too big for our pan. And
Good problem to have.
Good problem to have, so it causes a little bit. And we are going to cook it in the pan first, and then we're going to transition it to the oven. So let me just give a quick little cut here. That's going to end up being left. Just going to sprinkle some olive oil on here, and then flip it over, and then get all the little spices on here.
One of the keys to getting your seasoning to stick to fish is to make sure to pat it dry. I know it seems like it's counterintuitive that water would help things stick to fish, but actually when it reaches temperature in the oil, it tends to fleck off. So what we want is for it to not fleck off, we want it to stick and really adhere. So we pat it down and then we use oil, which will adhere during the high temperature cooking process that we're about to do.
Okay, we have flipped over the cod and we are going to do the exact same thing that we did on the front side. So first thing is we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil on here and then we're going to rub that in. Next we have the Himalayan salt and the Old Bay seasoning we're going to sprinkle on there, and then we're going to hit this with a little bit of paprika. We're going to coat it a little bit heavy on this side because we want that smoky flavor to definitely come through after we pan fry it. tell the people what Ponchatratrain sauce is, where it comes from, and how it gets made?
All right, so first off, Ponchatratrain sauce is basically a kind of a ubiquitous name for a sauce that includes butter, your basic bell peppers, your mushrooms, garlic. We got a little Creole mustard here, and some lemon juice. All of this stuff comes together to make really savory flavors that have gone well with fish. Ponchatratrain sauce is not the same everywhere you order it. Everybody in South Louisiana kind of has their own riff. There is generally one protein or two proteins that will go into the sauce. Today we're going to be using a claw crab meat, blue crab meat, as our kind of base. The other thing I want to say is that I'm not a heavy saucing guy. I think that the main protein should be the thing that really speaks out, and the sauces should be something that accentuates the overall flavor. We've got a great fresh fish here, so we don't want it to be too overpowered with the sauces. So let me show you what we're working with when we talk about a Ponchatratrain sauce. In order to get a really good Ponchatratrain sauce, you want to get a hot skillet. And if you'll notice, we used the same skillet that we cooked our fish in, so we could get the remnants of that fish and all of the goodness that it had left on the pan with our sauce. This butter is going to cook down into a wonderful emulsion in just a second, and then we're going to be able to add all of our wonderful vegetables. The onions are going to go in. We're going to soften those onions up. We don't want to brown them because we want the texture that is associated with those onions. It's a great aromatic flavor, and that's just one of the few things that we're going to add in order to get all of the wonderful things going on for this dish. Next up is a favorite in South Louisiana, the bell pepper. For this particular version, we're going to do a red bell pepper. Adds a little bit of sweetness to the sauce. Then our garlic. Of course, you got to have garlic, and then celery. These are very common ingredients in South Louisiana dishes, and is also a common one for the Ponchatratrain sauces that we have researched. Next up is our mushrooms. For this dish, we chose shiitakes for their texture. It's a counterpoint to the crispiness of the other vegetables and aromatics that we've chosen. A little bit more Old Bay never hurt anything at all. Only 3 ingredients left in this wonderful dish. Next up is going to be our wonderful protein, the blue crab claw.
You can get this from most grocery stores. You will want to check it to make sure that it doesn't have any shell, because sometimes that will happen in these production versions of foods that you get off the shelf. Next up, we're going to add our mustard, which will add a little bit more of a bitter component to the dish, which is a nice counterbalance to all of the rich flavors that we've seen so far. As we stir this through, we'll also continue with our bitter flavors by finishing off with a little bit of lemon juice. And of course, what dish would not be perfect with a little extra white wine to finish it off?
So now that we've put all of that prep work into place, we've ended up with more of a topping than we have of a sauce, which is okay because actually the flavors have condensed down into something that's a little bit more potent and delicious for the particular fish.
I wish you could smell this. I
Oh,
wish there was a
God,
way you
so
could
good.
smell stuff over there.
Oh.
The entire time we were making this, I was going, I want to eat it now. So,
And we are about to eat this.
yes,
So,
we are.
As far as the plating goes, I think what we're going to do is start with our rice mold
All right.
here, which is just basically a ring, and we'll get Matt to kind of put that together. We're just using sort of a real sticky white rice here, and we're going to then include the topping, which is no longer a sauce, and then our wonderful cod, which actually, you want to talk about the smells that are going on here. I still smell the wonderful butter and fish.
Wow, that looks like a professional restaurant.
Well, I mean, of course it does.
Of course it
Matt.
does.
You know, that's what we do here at DDB Cooks.
Right? All right, I'm going to grab the biggest piece here. So,
Of course we are.
let's see.
Man, okay, so this is a very, very flaky fish. And Matt had mentioned something about this earlier. What were you saying, Matt?
I think next time we should use a halibut or maybe like some orange roughy, more of a meatier fish. Like you said, it's flaky, and then when we were pulling it out of the pan and moving it around, it kind of fell apart on us a little bit. But
Which is not going to be a problem once we start eating it.
yeah. Definitely, the flavor's definitely going to be there. It's just get that out of the way. All right, so you just want me to like ladle this on here?
Well, I will tell you, I am really excited about this Ponchatrain
I think
topping.
we went a little crazy on the crab. We probably shouldn't have done that much, but I don't know.
You know, the weirdest part of
Presentation
this-
is not going to be that good.
the weirdest part of all this is I think I might have used a little less crab than what called for. So I would say, if we could, let's put one more little topping of this
On top of that,
there.
why not?
So that way we have a little, but you know what? Why not a little more?
A little more.
Okay. So
All right, so this is kind of what it's going to look like, and he said you can use any fish you want. We're going to enjoy this.
I have a feeling we will. So first off,
I'm going to
take
start
the
with
fish.
the fish. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
read my
nice,
mind.
nice little flaky pieces.
Get some here.
Could use a bit more salt. Taste that paprika in there for sure. Absolutely.
I love blackened seasoning.
All right.
I got to try this crab.
Oh man. Lights out. This is great.
Oh my gosh, there's kind of sweetness to it.
Just the sugar, a nice little foil with the
I like
lemon and the mustard.
That's really good.
That's unbelievable. As far as I can tell you, I'd give this one 4 out of 5 stars.
Yep.
The only reason I wouldn't give it 5 is because I think maybe the type of fish we used was not maybe the best type for this one. Matt, what do you think?
You know, there's absolutely nothing I would change about this. I don't know how to get necessarily saucier, if that's even a word, but
More butter.
that Ponchatrain, more butter, yeah, maybe that's where there you go.
Well,
I would lick the bowl if it wasn't so hot.
and that's something we will do off camera a little bit later. But I will tell you that we do appreciate again all of the people that have been commenting on the Facebook as well as the YouTube channel. It's been great to see people really interested in the things that we are cooking now and the things that we may cook in the future. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so at 940-320-9097 or at info@DentonDallasandBeyond.com. So here's hoping to all of you out there that your sautés and sauternes turn out excellent. Take
Have a good one.